Problem 3 of the Chapter 5 review, and this is solving equations with the equal values method. The first thing we need to do is we need two equations in the y equals mx plus b form. So let's see how we can do that with this problem. Ginny is raising pumpkins to enter a contest to see who can grow the heaviest pumpkin. Her best pumpkin weighs 22 pounds and is growing at the rate of 2.5 pounds per week. Martha planted her pumpkins late. Her best pumpkin weighs 10 pounds, but she expects it to grow at 4 pounds per week. So, assuming that their pumpkins grow at these rates, in how many weeks will their pumpkin, so in how many weeks will their pumpkins weigh the same? And how much will they weigh? If the contest ends in 7 weeks, who will have the heavier pumpkin at that time? All right, so let's first try to answer the question, in how many weeks will their pumpkins weigh the same? So the first thing we'll need to do is we're going to need to find out what the equation is for both of them. So let's see. So for Ginny, we can start out with y equals, and we will leave out the m. We'll put the x in plus, and we'll leave a space for the b. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see, Ginny starts out with a pumpkin weighing 22 pounds. So that's our starting value, our b. And she's growing at the rate of 2.5 pounds per week. So that would be 2.5, here's our growth, times x, and that means that x is going to be weeks. All right, so now we need an equation. We have our equation for Ginny, and we need an equation for Martha. So that will be y equals something times x, m times x, plus b. And let's figure out what the m and the b are going to be. Okay, so her best pumpkin weighs 10 pounds, so that's our starting value, our b. And then she's going to grow at 4 pounds per week. So that's 4 times x, because remember, x is the number of weeks. All right, so we have two equations in the y equals mx plus b form. So using the equal values method, we can assume that these two y's are going to be equal to each other because y is the total weight of the pumpkin. Okay, so we're looking for the place where those two y's are equal to each other. And if those two y's are equal, and each y is equal to the other side of the equation, that means we can rewrite this equation so that it looks like this. 2.5x plus 22 is equal to 4x plus 10. Okay, so we've used the equal values method to get an equation where we only have one variable. That's an x here and an x here. We no longer have the y. So we can just go ahead and solve for x. All right, so let's start doing that. We're trying to get x on one side. So we need to zero out one of them. I think I'll do the smaller one, the 2.5x. So I'll subtract 2.5x from this side and 2.5x from this side. All right, so over here, we zero that out, and we only have 22 left on this side. And then on this side, we will have 1.5x left after we subtract 2.5 from 4. Okay, and we still have that 10, so I'll say plus 10. All right, so remember, we're still trying to isolate this x. So the next thing we'll do is remove that 10 by zeroing that out. We'll subtract 10 from both sides. So on the left-hand side here, we'll have 12 left. And over on this side, we've zeroed out the 10, and so we've just got 1.5x. All right, so still trying to isolate that x, and it's being multiplied by 1.5. So let's go ahead and divide it by 1.5. And that will mean that it's 1.5 over 1.5, which is 1. And that is equal to just plain x. And then if we look at, we're supposed to divide this side by 1.5 also. So 1.5 goes into 12 6 times, or wait a second, 1.5 and 1.5 added together is 3. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So this actually will be, it goes in, 1.5 goes into 12 8 times. And so that will be an 8. So our x is equal to 8. So that's 8 weeks. So that's what we know so far, that they will be the same weight in 8 weeks. All right, and we know that x is equal to 8. And so because we know that, we can take that x and plug it back into one of these original equations. And it looks to me like the second equation will be slightly easier math. And so I'm going to use that one. So I'll just rewrite that up here. Y equals 4x plus 10. And then this time, when we write it, we're going to substitute 8 for x. So now 4 times 8 is 32 plus 10. And so that's going to be y is equal to 42. So in 8 weeks, both pumpkins are going to weigh 42 pounds. All right. So now we can answer the next question, which is, if the contest ends in 7 weeks, who will have the heavier pumpkin at that time? Well, we could put in 7 weeks instead of 8 weeks and figure that out. So if we did Martha first, so Martha's pumpkin is going to weigh this much in 7 weeks. 28 plus 10, it'll weigh 38 pounds. So that's Martha. And then if we take Ginny's equation, Ginny is 2.5 times x, which would be 7 weeks, if we're just looking at 7 weeks, plus 22. So 2.5 times 7, that's 2 times 7 is 14. And then half of 7 is 3.5. So that would be 17.5 plus 22. Okay, so that will be equal to 39.5. So, and this is Ginny. So this is the weight of Ginny's pumpkin, and this is the weight of Martha's pumpkin at 7 weeks. So it looks like at 7 weeks, Ginny has the heaviest pumpkin. And they will have the same, so in 8 weeks, here, I'll write this over here, in 8 weeks, both pumpkins weigh 42 pounds.